Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is the Manchester United versus Tottenham preview, and what a game it is. Can't wait for it, so excited. And will Jose Mourinho be tempted to drop Anthony Martial for the game tomorrow and play Alexis Sanchez? I tell you what, if he does, he's going to have protests on his hand. It cannot happen, but we'll discuss that more in a minute. I just want to start off by saying how nice it is to support a football club that actually means something, that actually has a history, that actually understands what it means to be a football club. I really must pity a club that when one of their players gets injured, they automatically open up a checkbook and go and spend £60 million on the French La Liga's Phil Jagielka or a Leicester City winger. I mean, Manchester United, if we get an injury to a player now, we will just promote from the youth, because that's what a club with a good youth system should do. So very, very proud of that. I think it's we are doing things the right way. And as I said on Twitter earlier on today, Alexis Sanchez's debut on Friday was fantastic, very exciting, one of the best signings we've done in many, many years. But I'll be honest with you, Angel Gomez coming on for the last few minutes, skinning that right back and hitting it into the side netting was more exciting than anything Alexis Sanchez could ever do, because creating something that you've made against buying something that somebody else has, it's always creation, and that's what Manchester United is. So I'm really proud and I'm really glad that I support a club like that, because yes, we need to sign players, 100% we need to sign players, because our youth isn't ready yet and we haven't got enough of it. But we must never turn our back on what we are about, and I would hate to be managed or run by people who just go out and buy things. It's not real, it's not moral, it doesn't matter. The only thing you're measuring is the size of your wallet. It's not about how good you are as a football club. Anybody can buy success. Jack Walker did it at Blackburn 20 years ago. Chelsea have done it. What Man City are doing is nothing new. And this is apparently from a man who's great with youth development. If anybody actually knows anything about the youth in this country, Manchester City's youth setup is very, very good. How bad it is for their youth players. They will never get a look in. Never get a look in. And on top of that, let me add as well that £250 million that man Pep spent in the summer on defenders. Refused to sign Alexis Sanchez because it was too much money. Now looks like he's going to spend 120 million on Mahrez and Laporte. I think we all know the truth, don't we, Pep? You got snubbed by Sanchez. It was nothing to do with money. But on to Manchester United. Lots to talk about in relation to this Spurs game. I've got a little bit of a theory for you. I think Jesse Lingard is absolutely essential in this game tomorrow night. This is how I would line up against Spurs tomorrow. De Gea in goal, Smalling and Jones, Ashley Young, Valencia. Yes, I understand here that maybe Luke Shaw should play, but I think we will see. I think we will see Ashley Young play for his experience. Now there's a food of thought here that maybe you could put Pogba there, put Herrera there, and go with the midfield three. And I certainly think that Mourinho may well do that, but not 100% sure that he will. Not 100% sure that he will. And I personally wouldn't. Martial's got to start. Sanchez has got to start. Lukaku's got to start. And that Lukaku's going to stay there. Lukaku's going to occupy that Spurs back four. No Alderweireld, who I think is their best centre-back. He's out injured. No Aurier, who's their best right-back. He's out injured. So these are the areas that we can exploit. Alexis Sanchez and Martial should just spend the time swapping over with each other. Little arrow there. Swap over with each other. That interchangeability is there. That's got to be the front three, because we can win the game there. Now, we're going to drop Lingard on and Mata. Personally, you could put Pogba there. You could drop Herrera in there. You could even go as stupidly as bad to play Fellaini there. But I think we're Manchester United. We've got a massive opportunity in this game. We're 8 points clear of Spurs, which I didn't think we would be coming into this Spurs game. I thought it'd be a lot closer. So we're 8 points clear of Spurs. A draw's not a terrible result, and he might see a draw as a good result, and that might force him to play Fellaini or Herrera in a midfield three. But if we win it, he'll win Manager of the Month with a flawless record in the season in the January. And also, what have we got to be fair? Why should we be scared of Spurs? It's Wembley. It's a big pitch. We win this, we kill anybody catching us for fourth. Spurs won't catch us with an 11-point gap at the start of February. Arsenal aren't going to catch us because I think they're about 11 points behind. So basically, it's a battle between Liverpool, Chelsea, United for second, third and fourth already at the start of February. So win the game tomorrow at Spurs. we've wrapped up top 4. We can focus on the FA Cup and the Champions League with a little bit more relaxation. I say go and win. And the way to go and win tomorrow is chuck Jesse Lingard in that number 10 position. Have him helping out the midfield two of Pogba and Matic, but exploding from the midfield. Sanchez on the right, Martial on the left, Lukaku up front. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I really think that's the way to go in this game, because Spurs have got Harry Kane. Yes, they've got Dele Alli. He's been poor this season. Eriksen will be back, which is fundamental to them. But I think we're a better team than Spurs, and I think Mourinho is blowing smoke up their backside, and Pochettino's, correctly, because he's boosting their ego. There's no need to go to war to them. But Wembley is a place to be inspired, and we've seen teams like Swansea, Burnley get points against Spurs this season. We're Manchester United at a non-intimidating ground, at a neutral ground, effectively, at a big pitch. And I think we can expose them, and I think we can really express ourselves. But we've got to do what we didn't do against Manchester City, and that is take the game to them, play to our strengths. Let's not sit back, let's not pack the midfield, let's get at them and hurt them. And I think Lingard's got to play. That's why, for me, Lingard's fundamental to the game tomorrow. Not fundamental, he's crucial to the game tomorrow, because if he starts, that says to me that we're going to go and try and win this game. He's got a good record at Wembley. Of course, you could drop Lingard out there. You could play Pogba further forward. You can drop Herrera or Fellaini into the midfield with Matic. And we could still win the game, because I think Martial and Sanchez swapping around, Lukaku up front, leading the line, pushing Spurs back, are crucial to Manchester United. But I think Lingard, great record at Wembley, and that's the way I would go. As for people who think he might drop Martial, put Sanchez there, drop Martial, put Lingard there potentially, or play Mata, that would be a disgrace. That would be an absolute disgrace to do that tomorrow. There is no point in signing Alexis Sanchez if we were going to drop Martial, and I would not be for that. I would be very, 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 very unhappy with that. Lansana says, I agree with your lineup, mate. That's a winning team. Lingard loves Wembley, says Samuel R. And Spurs are not great at the moment. Need to go for the win tomorrow. Louise O'Donoghue, I totally agree with you. I think this is an opportunity. This game sort of sets us up for the rest of the season. It's the first real test for Sanchez. It's the first real test for Mourinho as to how he's going to set us up with Sanchez. We've got that 8-point gap on 5th against Spurs. If they beat us, they close it to 5th. 5 points. It's not the end of the world, but it puts a bit of pressure on us. If we draw, not a bad result. I would take a draw tomorrow. But if we win, 11 points ahead of Spurs, I think with that against Arsenal, they're not catching us. They're not going to catch us. So we've got Champions League football sewn up in February, and we've still got Champions League football to play in this year, and an FA Cup to go for. I think it makes it really exciting. So I hope Mourinho's thinking tomorrow, let's go and win. And I think Fellaini starts the game, that's very negative. And Herrera starts the game, that's very negative. I want to see Pogba and Matic in a midfield too, and I want to see us get at them. Let's go and hurt Spurs. They are out of form at the moment. We could really go and do something. John Morris says there's breaking news that Roma are in for Daley Blind. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And Andrew Thompson says Jose can do surprise lineups in big games. I hope so. I hope so. That would be interesting. Daley Blind's not been involved too much lately, so we'll come back. We'll come back to that for sure. Let's secure top 4 and then fight for the UEFA Champions League, says Josh Hendricks. How do we win this game? How do we win this game? Well, I think Spurs are always a team that I don't think's got any width, and this is where we kill them. This is where we can do it. Valencia and Young bombing forward, if it is Young or Shaw. Martial and Sanchez, probably our 2 most exciting players with Pogba at the moment. They're the creative sides. That's where Spurs are weak. If we battle them in this triangle here, with Smalling, Jones, Matic, Pogba, Lukaku, Lingard can just fairy about them there. But if that triangle battles Spurs and wins that battle, this is where we win it. Because they're not very good down the flanks, and that's where we can hurt Spurs. It's as simple as that. I think we can outmuscle them as well. I don't think they're a particularly strong side. So, please look at Gary Neville. I don't think Phil Neville's on Twitter anymore right now, and I doubt Gary Neville would say anything. But let's come back to the main screen, because we can always come back to that. I agree with Shane Bradley. Daley Blind should be moved on, as should Matteo Darmian, 100%. I think that should definitely happen. They're not what we need to have anymore. Anyway, link in the video description for match bets. We did this a couple of weeks ago. Really, really good offer that they are offering up for us. The way match bets works is it's not really a bet. It's a betting system rather than betting. New customers, you get recommended offers every single day, and it's like a system, like I say. I mean, if you look at this William Hill offer here, £23, show instructions. So you'd sign up. Estimated profit £23. It talks you through how to do everything in relation to making a profit, and there's numerous offers every single day for the new customers. So open an online account with William Hill using the promo code, deposit and bet £10 to get £30 in free bets. Use promo code when registering, and basically you just go through that system to make £23. And what you do is you'd open up a customer account with William Hill, you'd open one up with, say, Betfair, because you need a betting exchange, and you're basically playing one bet off the other with your free bet to make guaranteed profit. And that's how it works. So you've got to be over 18, you've got to gamble responsibly, but effectively every single day they will put loads and loads of new offers in for you. So just for that today, you've got Bet365, profit 75. Betway £24, Ladbrokes £35, Betfred £23, £15, £23, 16, 8, 30, 16. Obviously, money is a little bit tight for people in January, and match bets, if you're into betting or if you just want to make yourself a little bit of extra money, is a system that a lot of people are doing to make upwards of £1,000 a month extra just using this system, which match bets will talk you through. They've got videos for every single offer, like I say, show instructions, they've got video, how to claim it, what to do. They've got a forum, discuss offers in the forum with lots of other people. So if that's something that floats your boat, the link is in the video description with that, with match bets. They've got numerous offers on for you, email support, and as I say, it's not really, we're not going to give you bets, they're not going to give you bets. It's about how what you do to get guaranteed profit off every offer, and there's numerous sign-up offers all the time with many different betting companies, and you know, for a few minutes work you can make 23 quid through William Hill and 16 quid through Sky Bet, and there's a nice £75 one with Bet365. So if you're interested, the link in the video description is there for that. They've also got, if I come back to the main screen, they've also got below that, get huge odds of 40 to 1 for United to beat Spurs, or 30 to 1 for Spurs to beat United. That is with Betfair, and we've got two offers there. Match bets, get yourself signed up with that to earn yourself some guaranteed profit through the process of the match betting system. Or if you fancy huge odds of 40 to 1 for United to beat Spurs, or 30 to 1 for Spurs to beat United, don't go with that. Link in the video description with Betfair. So get on both of those, make sure you're over 18, and do gamble responsibly. Right, let's have a look at this news in relation to Daley Blind then, because there's a lot of people talking about that, and I'd be intrigued as to whether there is anything going on seriously about it. Sometimes you can get a little bit Demarcio reporting that Roma in talks over signing Daley Blind. Obviously not got a long-term future at Old Trafford, but difficult to see him being allowed to leave, especially after Twansibi loan. Mourinho had said no more in and no more out. Interesting then that it's come from Demarcio. What are your thoughts? I don't know about this. I think that we'd sort of thought that, you know, with what, 24 hours more or less to go of this transfer window, that would be the end of it, that there wouldn't be any more interest in relation to our players in or out. But I'm just having a quick look at it. Yeah, he's definitely saying it. Roma are interested in Manchester United star. Let's have a look on his website, see what the details are. It's hard because it's going to be in Italian, but we'll translate it. Important news, Roma home about the incoming market. The Palato company is in fact dealing with Manchester United for Blind. The Dutch defender has already given his okay for the transfer to Roma. Roma's at work in these hours to try and find an agreement with the English club. So I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to Daley Blind, look, he was one of the players that I said needed to go. Darmian or Blind or both do need to leave Manchester United. So I can't really say anything bad about the deal. I tell you what, if Daley Blind does leave Manchester United and go to Roma, that would, for me, make it an absolutely fantastic transfer window. To get 2 out and a player of Sanchez's quality in preparation for the summer is big business. Because Darmian's got to go in the summer as well. But if we've already moved Blind on for say 15-20 million pounds, Darmian will go in the summer as well. We've basically got rid of 2 players. And I mean, Fellaini's not going to go, but you know what I mean. But Carrick will retire, so that's 3 players gone. And you know, it's unfair to sort of call them deadwood, but in the literal sense, they are deadwood for different reasons. Carrick's too old, Blind is surplus to requirements, and Darmian's not good enough. So effectively, what a transfer window that would be for us. Mkhitaryan moved on as well. So I think if Blind does go to Roma, I think at the end of the day, I'm never happy when a player, I've got nothing against Daley Blind, I do think he's surplus to requirements. I mean, he doesn't even make the bench anymore, and for him, he obviously wants to play football. Do I think he'll go to Roma? I don't necessarily think he will. I think what a lot of people are sort of saying in the live comments is that, will Mourinho let him go at this point? I mean, Jamie O'Hare's right, Blind is better than Darmian. Will Mourinho let Blind go? Cover-wise, on the left-hand side, you've got Young and Shaw. Centre-backs, we've got Rojo, Jones, Smalling, Lindelof, Bay when he's back. We've got a lot of cover. I mean, Daley Blind is not a midfielder. That we tried that a few weeks ago. He's not a midfielder. So Daley Blind's going to struggle to get any sort of game time unless we have a lot of injuries. In which case, I'm sure we can recall Twansibi or Fosu Mensah. So if we can get decent money for Blind now, it saves us having to do a deal in the summer. I would just about say yes, but I don't think it will happen. I think it's too late in the day. I don't think Mourinho will want it to happen because he'll want to just keep everyone together till the end of the season. And would Blind fancy Roma? I always thought I could always see Daley Blind at someone like Barcelona. I think Barcelona defenders don't have a lot to do, and I think Blind would suit them quite well with his ball distribution. He probably would suit Serie A because it's a bit slower, but number 17 shirt for Griezmann, says Anantha. What about Rojo? Oh, Rojo will stay. And Mata's leaving. I don't think Mata's going to go anywhere. Maybe in the summer, but certainly not now. Don't see that happening at all. I did want to talk about Tahith Chong. I wanted to talk about him at the start, really. For anybody, and a lot of people are now starting to realise who Tahith Chong is. We signed him, was it 2 years ago, as a youngster from, I think it was Feyenoord or PSV. Really sought after young talent, about 16 when we signed him. He's got the big hair like Fellaini, quite tall for his age, but he's more of a, can play anywhere in those. I mean, it's sort of a cliche because so many attacking players do now. They're not just a left winger or a right winger. They can play anywhere across the front three, number 10, either side on the wing. Many people would sort of call him a right-sided player at the moment. It's where he scored his goal yesterday and did most of his damage. First game for the under-23s last night, scored a goal in a 3-1 loss against Spurs, but was the shining light, and Mourinho saw it. And a lot of people have said, I've been on about Tahith Chong since we signed him. I think he's a fantastic talent, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I've seen people recently, because I've been tweeting about him quite a lot over the last 6 months, because he had a bad injury around this time last year that kept him out for most of 2017. A lot of people are saying, why has he not been called up to the first team? He has trained with the first team. He trained with the first team over Christmas, but he's not had a look in on the bench or anything like that. And he is very close to that. When you think about the likes of a Wayne Rooney, who burst on the scene at 16, and even George Best many years ago at 17 in a Manchester United shirt, then Tahith Chong is somebody that why not? Why wouldn't? Why can't he do it? And I don't think he is that far off. I don't think he's that far off at all. He's only just turned 18. He turned 18 in December, and he is a player that I think is ready. But what I would say about Chong, and I'm not going to say I watch him religiously, but I've known about him for the last couple of years. He's been at United, and even if you just watch the clips from last night, for anybody who's watched any old clips of George Best when he was like 17, 18, 19. There's a definite similarity. Now, I'm not saying Tahith Chong's the next George Best. There is only one George Best, and if he gets anywhere near that, what a player he's going to be. But what I like about Chong is he looks quite slight in his frame, but he's so strong on the ball. He can ride a tackle, and his dribbling style is very similar to what we used to see of George Best all those years ago. That excites me. Not because he's going to be the next George Best, not because I think he's going to be anywhere near as good as George Best. He could be. But what I like about a young player like that is his confidence and his ability to ride a tackle. Because he did get chopped down quite a lot last night. But his balance, his poise and his dribbling ability, he just glides. Everybody dribbles differently. Some people have got really close control and they stop and they start. But he glides with the ball off both feet. He's a real talent. And as I've been saying for quite a long time about Tahith Chong now, I think Gomez will make it. But Chong's the one that excites me the most. I think he could be stunning in a Manchester United shirt, and he's just about hitting that age now where, again, Ryan Giggs 17 wasn't he when he started. I think Chong under Van Gaal and Sir Alex probably would have had some game time by now. This is where Mourinho slightly fails compared to them, because he'll wait a little bit longer, and I think Chong needs to start. I'd like to see Chong getting a bit of game time in the last sort of few weeks of this season, because I think he's ready, which is another big positive. If we beat Spurs tomorrow, I think we can be comfortably established in the top, 2 or 3 positions by April, which then if you're still in the Champions League, hopefully, and the FA Cup, maybe we can give Chong and Gomez a bit more game time. But he's the real deal. The only issue with him is he did have a bad knee injury last season. He does get fouled a lot, and as with all young players, there's always that fear that injury could destroy them. I always think of Terry Cook around the class of '92. A lot of people probably never heard of him, but he was a youth player from around that team of the class of '92. Fantastic winger, bad injury, never really recovered, and that's the biggest fear with any young talent. And we've got a lot of young talents, but Chong, he's the sort of player that's. I think Gomez could be a magician. I think Chong can be like a Ronaldo or a Neymar or someone like that. A player who just off his own back. And he's obviously going to be quite a big, strong player as well. Really excites me. Not ready, but soon will be ready, says Rahib. I think you're probably right about that. Paul Robinson, Gomez and Chong, winger in number 10. What do we need? Quick maths. Paul, you're very right. I still think we need to go and buy a number 10 and potentially a winger, because I think it's so close with Chong and Gomez, but ultimately it's probably 2 years too soon. Probably 2 years too soon. If it was 2 years on, you'd be saying get them embedded into the team now, but it's probably 2 years too soon. People saying Chong to skinny look, a Lingard is like a stretch, says Paul Goodwin. Thomas Lamar for left wing, too expensive, Chris Windle. And Chong sounds like Giggs, says CTM videography. Again, yeah, there are similarities with Giggs, but I think Giggs just, it reminds me more. When I watched him today, and I'm considering I've seen Giggs as a 17-year-old, and I've seen, people are mentioning Sane and everyone like that, and Sane does remind me a little bit of Giggs. But when I was watching Chong's clips on the Twitter today, the first player that came to my mind, and considering I grew up watching videos of George Best because my granddad and my mum were obsessed, well, my mum more was obsessed with George Best, he just reminds me of that, and that is very exciting. We are, but yeah, we should hopefully get back now. Yeah, okay, we should be back. Sorry if I lost you there. Hopefully we are back. Loan out Chong? Maybe. Huddersfield are losing to Liverpool, apparently. You're not laggy. I was laggy. It froze up for me. My internet just froze out for a bit. So we have got the watch along tomorrow, by the way. We'll be live at 7 o'clock because it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Flex is at Wembley to do the fan cams as well. Massive game, and then we've got Huddersfield at Old Trafford on Saturday, so we should win that. And then not too far after that, we've got Sevilla in the Champions League. So it's all coming back, and really excited about it. Will there be some business tomorrow? Who knows? I've got a 7 AM. It's the last one of the month. It's the last one of the month. 7 AM tomorrow. We've got the transfer daily. The last one of the month, and it won't be back till May the 1st. But May the 1st till August the 31st is quite a stretch. But we love the transfer talk, don't we? So the last one tomorrow. There could be a sting in the tail. There could be a sting in the tail. This Blind news. Let's see what happens with it. Demartio's normally very good, and Daley Blind too. I don't know what I'm talking about by those. Daley Blind, Roma, yes. Not a definite yes, but yes. In the context of what United are trying to do and moving on some of the players that aren't going to be used anymore, and if we get a good fee for him, Daley Blind to Roma works for me. Will there be a player coming in? Probably not. Probably not. Ozil would have been the one, but it doesn't look like that will happen. It's all about Spurs tomorrow. I know everyone else is going to be scratching around trying to do transfer business. I mean, what are Man City doing? They're an absolute embarrassment, aren't they? How can he say a week ago, oh, we can't make signings, and then he's going to go and spend 120 million in the January transfer window? Just financial fair play was something that had existed once. I just don't know how they do it. But 9 Golan for Blind, says Sally Devil Red 7. Oh, imagine that. It would be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. Paul Robinson says, why are we not buying in January when players are available? Waiting until the summer World Cup window, inflated prices, no time, makes no sense. Get Seri, Fred or Draxler. And Cranium says, 9 Golan from Roma would make me happiest man on the planet. I agree with what Paul says. I would like to have seen us get another player in because we needed to use this January transfer window. But in conclusion, if it means Mkhitaryan and Blind go and Alexis Sanchez comes in, I still think that's far better. I mean, some people were saying we weren't going to do anything. So to get 2 out and 1 in, and 2 players that, if we're totally ruthless, needed to go. Zlatan's probably going to go as well. So I think it's a very good transfer window regardless of what happens tomorrow. And it would be slightly better if Blind did go, because I don't see a future for him at the club. And I know he's a popular player, but I don't see a future for Daley Blind at the club. And ultimately, that is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, are you going to play? Get involved. That's the thing, isn't it? Don't forget to sign up for match bets. Link in the video description. As I said, thousands of people are doing the match betting on a daily basis and making a lot of money. And you can get full premium access to one of the leading matching betting sites, matchbets.com, for 7 days for only £1. It's a limited time offer and an excellent deal. So get yourself signed up for that. If people don't know what match bets is, it's the start of the video. Effectively, it is betting, but it's not like there's no element of risk in it, because they are talking you through how you use the free bet sign-ups that loads and loads of betting companies release on a daily basis. Using an exchange with Betfair, you can bet against the two and guarantee profit that then you take out. So, you know, people are making like 50 quid a day doing it, stuff like that. So link in the video description for that. Take a look at it. I know a lot of people in January are looking for a little bit of extra money or something new to have a go at. So have a go. It's a system, and it's a very successful system for many people. Link in the video description, and there's also the Betfair offer if you fancy United. 40 to 1 to beat Spurs. Obviously that's loaded with a lot of free bets, but then you can use them in the match bets system to get some guaranteed profit out of it. So get involved with that. Please make sure, I tell you what, folks, we've all been blasting away through the topics tonight, but nobody's blasted the like button. So please do hit that like button before you leave. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Like the video. Tomorrow morning is Transfer Daily. Could be an interesting one by what I'm hearing. And then tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we are live. Spurs, make sure you join us. We'll be live at 7 o'clock, an hour before, talking about the team news. Will he play Martial and Sanchez? That's the biggest thing on my mind straight away. But exciting times for United. And as I opened the show with, I will finish it with it as well. I'm glad I support a club that actually does use its youth. We've spent 5 minutes there talking about Tahith Chong and how we all want him in the team and how we all want him to be a great player. It doesn't happen at other clubs. They just go and buy Leicester players, or Leicester's best player, or Atletico Bilbao's player. Just go and spend 120 million. It's FIFA on easy mode. That's what Pep Guardiola does. We're a real club with a real history, and we don't do it the FIFA on easy mode way. We do it by cultivating and creating our own players as well as buying players, and that I would never want to support a club that doesn't do that. You know, and as I said, they've all been and gone. Blackburn Rovers did it. Where are they now? Chelsea did it. They're on the slide. Man City will be on the slide in 10 years as well. Manchester United will still remain because our club matters and the way we do things is the right way. And I never wanted to turn away our back on the youth. City have spent billions on that club. millions and millions and millions on their youth setup. You know, people like Robin van Persie and I think Rooney as well were putting their kids into the Man City youth development programme because it was better than ours. Well, it's not better than ours, is it? They might have all the gear, but they've got no idea. They're not promoting. They've got Ben Foden, who looks like a fantastic player. When's he going to play for them? No, go and buy Mahrez. Don't give him a game. At United, it's different. And so they can have the best gear for their youth setup. They won't bloody play their youth, and I'm really proud that we do. And I'm so glad that we've spent time talking about Gomez and Chong tonight, because to me, Chong's development and Gomez's development, I'd rather we had them than we signed Messi. I'd rather had them than we signed Bale. I would rather they came through and were world superstars at our club, because it matters more when you create it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 AM and tomorrow night at 7 PM for the match. Get involved. You're all fantastic, and I really enjoy these sort of shows where we can have some good old chats and get involved. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm getting stick in the comments for calling him Ben Foden. I think it just shows something. I'm not a City fan. Why the bloody hell would I definitely know his first name? Obviously, Ben Foden's obviously the bloody TV presenter, isn't he? Apparently it's Phil Foden. Boo-hoo. I couldn't give a toss, to be honest. I know his name's Foden and I know he's a good player, but to be honest, we'll be calling him Ben Foden in a few years' time because he'll probably never get a bloody chance at City.